Now I'm going to talk about using the calculator to do some trigonometric calculations. There's quite a lot of trigonometry that you need to know in order to understand what the calculator is doing for you. Now we're going to talk about trigonometry and how to calculate trigonometric functions on your calculator. So let's have a look and see what we can do. If we've got a right-angled triangle, which we need for trigonometry, here's our right angle. Suppose this is our angle theta, and you probably remember that this will be the hypotenuse. This is the opposite, and this is the adjacent side. And so if we want sine of theta, probably it's better to write it as just sine theta. We don't really need the brackets. We know they're there. We have the opposite over the hypotenuse. Suppose we had, let's put opposite over hypotenuse. Suppose we want to calculate sine of 30 degrees. Okay, we just press sine, see the sine button here? We press sine and then we put 30, close the brackets and press equals, and we get 0.5. If we want cos, okay, here's cos, we press cos 30, close the brackets, press the equals, and cos of 30 degrees is equal to 0.866, etc., which is root 3 on 2. Now the calculator won't tell you that. I'm pretty sure you can't get this calculator to tell you that. There are some angles like 30 degrees, 60 degrees and 45 for which you should know the exact values of their sine, cosine and tan values. Let's do tan 30. Okay, here's the tan button. So again, we just press the tan button, put in 30 and press, okay, and that is equal to 0.577, which is 1 on root 3. Okay. So we can go back and we can say here the hypotenuse is 2, the opposite is 1, and the adjacent is root 3. So notice 1 squared plus root 3 squared is 3, so 1 plus 3 is 4, which is equal to 2 squared, okay? Pythagoras is correct. We've talked about calculating sine, cosine and tan when we were using degrees, but we also need to know how to do it if we've got radians. So 30 degrees is equal to pi on 6 radians. Okay. So we look here, we press shift and set up, and now we can see 3 we use degrees, 4 is for radians, 5 is for grad. We're not using that. We're only using degrees or radians. So we'll press number 4 and we get radians. Now, if we do sine pi on 6, what will that be? Now, pi, 180 degrees divided by 6 should be equal to 30. So we press sine. Now we want to get the pi. Can you see the pi down there? It's in yellowy brown, so we need to press the shift. Pi divided by 6, close the brackets, and we get 0.5 as before. Notice if we just go sine 30 and we are in radians and we've put in degrees, we get something completely wrong. It's extremely important that you know whether you're in degrees or radians. Let's do cos pi on 6. It's not a very good 6. Radians. Okay, so we go cos, we've got the bracket shift, pi divided by 6, and we get 0.866 as before. And then tan pi divided by 6 equals 0.577 as before. Tan pi on 6 is equal to 0.577. Ready. We saw that sine of 30 degrees is equal to 0.5. But what if we knew that sine of theta is equal to 0.5? What is theta? Well, you should know that it's 30 degrees or pi on 6. Notice I've changed the calculator back into degrees. What is theta? Let's see. Now we can use the sine to the -1 button. Okay, I like to call that arc sine. Okay, that way I'm not going to get mixed up with reciprocals. This is not a reciprocal. This is an inverse function. So we press the shift, and you can see here is the sine to the -1. It's just above the sine button. So we press shift, sine, or arc sine, and now we put in the 0.5, and we press the equals, and lo and behold, it is equal to theta is equal to 30 degrees. And there we go. So we can do that for cosine. So what did we have? What about if we have cos theta is equal to 0.5? What will that be? What will theta be equal to? Okay, we will put shift, and now we press the cos to the -1, or arc cos, and we put 0.5, and we get 60 degrees. Okay, you probably should have been able to guess that. What about tan theta? Tan theta is equal to 0.5. Theta will be equal to, so let's try that. We press the shift, and then the tan to the -1. Can you see the tan to the -1? Or arc tan, 0.5. And we get 26.56 degrees. 26.565 degrees. Now you may like to write that in degrees, minutes and seconds. You can press this button here. See, it's got a dot and then little commas. And there we've got 26 degrees, 33 minutes, 54.18 seconds. Now, there's one more thing that we need to say. Remember, we had sine of 30 degrees is equal to 0.5. But if you look at the unit circle, you know this is A, C, T, S. It wasn't very good to see. Okay, here we've got 30 degrees. 30 degrees. We can have 30 degrees here, okay? It will have the same value. It's not a very good drawing. The same value for sine. So we know sine of 30 degrees is equal to 0.5. Sine of, now what have we got? When we come right around here, we get to 180. 180 minus 30 takes us back to 150. Sine of 150 degrees is also equal to 0.5. We can try that. Sine of 150 is equal to 0.5. But notice, when you do arc sine, it will only tell you 30. So you need to be aware for yourselves whether you may need to choose some other angles.